Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from...
Hello and welcome. This is another one of my December daily albums, and this one is actually last year's album, and I did it in a red album that I purchased. This is I believe it is a We Are Memory Keepers red faux leather album, and I purchased this because I thought the rings would be thicker. As it turns out, they're not any thicker. It's just exactly like our it's the size of our Stampin' Up! 6x8 albums, and I would have just got that if I would have realized I was going for something bigger, because you can see that my December daily albums tend to get kind of thick, particularly the last couple years as I have really found a rhythm. But that's okay. So what I did is I did want to decorate the front. I always like decorating the front because I use these in my Christmas decor. So I put them out during December and I sprinkle them throughout the house within my Christmas decor. So I like to have something on the front. I did Mod Podge on this paper, so it's not peeling up or anything. It's really attached to the album, and then I did my classic ribbon on there. So, and I did my little jingle bells. I still have lots of those that I use every year. So this was last year's. It is very thick. I did a lot with this. I did this envelope that has a card in it. It has journaling on the back of it. I used some Velcro to keep that closed. I cut out this and made this ornament here for the front of it. I should put the year right there is what I should do. And then going through, I had a lot of very thick pieces. I popped up a lot of pieces. I did a lot of ribbon, a lot of chipboard. Story one was the advent calendars. That has been my the first story that I've been telling the last few years, because I just recently started doing advent calendars with my kids. I didn't always do it with them. So the last few years, the first story of the album has been advent calendars. I did some tags in here like I typically always do. This one is just in here. I just punched a hole through it, and I don't know, probably over the years, this probably will end up getting torn out by, accident, as it's not very sturdy, but I'm not terribly worried about it. So this is wrapping paper that I used. So what I did is I just cut the wrapping paper into 3x4, and then I put it in the pocket, and then I added a tag to say whose paper it was, because I wrap all of the kids' paper. Each of them have their own wrapping paper for the year, and that I don't put tags on their paper on the gifts. I just know if it's wrapped in a certain paper, it's for a certain person. And so I put a little note on there, and I did both. So like this was Kayla's paper with the penguin. I also usually let them pick it out. Like we will go to the store and they will each pick out a wrapping paper that is their wrapping paper. Then I just did this. This was just fun. I did, there's 5 of us in our family, and so I asked each person what the best thing about December was, and then they told me, and then that was my 4th story. And then we did our Christmas tree, decorating our Christmas tree, my mom being here, a picture of our living room, around town, like around our little community, the different things that they put up and the different trees that get done. We had a pretty big storm last year that knocked one of our trees down in the front yard, and it knocked over my swing. And so I did that as a story. Napping by the fireplace. That's back when he was still towing, and it's a busy time during the holidays, and so he had a couple long days. Different, this was new, one of my new decor pieces from last year. Last year I made my grandma's fudge for the very first time, and it's something that I had wanted to do for a long time, but I hadn't had the courage to do it. And I did it last year and I was very excited. This is her actual fudge recipe in her handwriting, the card that she used for all of her life, basically. For many years, this was the card she got out at Christmas and used. My mom brought that down to me. So I'm excited to have that. And because these come out every Christmas, when I make fudge this year, I'll just grab my album. I'll know that it's there. I have a flip out. This was me making the fudge, so that was fun. My mom was there to help. There's the windows that we've seen several times in my albums. This was my 2 favorite commercials from last year, and I just took a photo of the TV when they came on. I loved these 2 commercials. I love to do photos of the things that are happening during December, like commercials that you love, the music you listen to, how you listen to it, particularly now where, you know, like we listen to Christmas music on our TV. Like we use our Apple TV and we just use our playlist. And that is something my mom always thinks it's so weird when I'm like, okay, I'll put the music on the TV. And she's always like, oh, that's so weird. Like, that's how you do it. But documenting those kinds of things, it's really fun. And maybe not something that you think of, but looking back, like every time these commercials came on, I like just about cried. I loved when these 2 came on. I would laugh. My favorite Christmas commercial is the Hershey Kiss Jingle Bell one. I remember that when I was a kid, and I'm always so ecstatic when it comes on. My husband texted me at the very end of November and said, I saw the Hershey Kiss commercial and I thought about you. And I got so mad because I hadn't seen it yet. And I was like, I can't believe you saw it before me. But he texted me and he was like, I thought of you because I know how much you love that. So then here is a tag and it has journaling on the back. So this was Christmas shopping for Christmas dinner. And I took a picture of us and then a picture of our basket. And then I just stuck this tag in here with the journaling and I loved that. Here's Christmas movies that we're watching. Another flip out with the cookies. That's how I wanted to get more photos in here. This was all the cookies that I was getting ready to take up to the school for gifts. I had them all lined up and was making them. And then here's another tag. The Christmas card that I did last year, I put one in here. A call that I went on. This was probably the last call I ever went on with my husband because then his job situation changed. But then gingerbread houses, it was a disaster last year. They did not work. It was the worst experience with gingerbread houses. And Violet hates the way gingerbread smells. So she was like, I hate this. She likes doing it, but she just doesn't like the way it smells. And then here's the gingerbread houses. We were trying to salvage them. It wasn't a good kit last year. And then Christmas, opening up gifts. And we were tracking Santa. Andrew loved this. Tracking Santa where he was at. We had that on that day. And then gifts. And dinner. Violet made gravy. Violet loves to cook. She's autistic, so she had her noise. She has sensory issues because of being autistic. And so she had her noise canceling headphones on, and she made gravy for the first time for us last year. Here she is cooking with her little chef hat and her apron. And she made gravy for the first time. She loved it. And then this was the last photo of this, of my album, and it was after everything is said and done and all the dishes are clean and it's like, it's over. Christmas is over. It's kind of sad, but I loved that photo. And then again, one of my pockets, I have receipts in here from Christmas shopping. And then I have another pocket here. And then this was something that Andrew had made. And so I loved Kayla's Christmas list was all typed out with bullet points. And I was like, that is such a sign of the, like, she's older now. And so she typed it all out. Like in past years, I have her handwritten, you know, one year she wrote all for everybody. Like she gathered everybody up and she had a piece of paper with each of their names. And then she wrote everybody's what they wanted and then gave it to me. And then this year she like typed it all up and she had photos. So like, it just is, you know, it's just a different way she did it, and it was fun to just see the progression. So that is last year's December daily album. I love doing December daily, and I'm sure at some point this month you have seen my current setup or current days that I'm doing and what I am using. I encourage you to look in the description box below, and if there are any other crafters who have joined me for Craftmas this year, they will be listed down below, and I encourage you to hop over to either their blog or their YouTube channel and check out what they're sharing. Some of them could be doing it every day like I'm doing it. Some of them are doing it sporadically. This is just something I have always wanted to do for the last couple years. I've really wanted to do Craftmas and share 25 crafty videos with you throughout the month, and I'm so excited to be doing it this year. So I hope you enjoyed seeing last year's December daily, and I will catch you in my next crafty video.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from the lights to the